Wow, I can't miss a day, and the market just continues to go nuts. Every single day in crypto, you're going to find something different. We're going to talk about the Russian ruble CBDCs, guys, next. Welcome, everybody. I have so much to talk to you today. Obviously, we're all talking about the World Coin, what it's for, what are the OpenAI inventor or one of the developers, owners of it, what did he say, as well as we all know, wow, another trillion, billion, whatever. Elon Musk is out there and he is kicking ass with X. Twitter's kind of gone, but the Dogecoin has taken off because he mentioned that as well. And then we're going to talk about Ducati and their NFTs all next on OG Crypto and NFTs. Welcome, everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in digital assets, blockchain technology, as well as non-fungible tokens, NFTs. Now, before we jump into it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Boom, boom. I'm going to give you the best 5 minutes out there. Truthfully, the best 5 minutes in the crypto and digital asset industry. So let's jump right into this. You know, everyone's been like this anti-CBDC all the time. And I'm like, well, it's going to happen. So first of all, before you go picket or riot or whatever you're going to do, right? It's going to happen. You just need legislation to allow the privacy to come in. Now, do you trust our government? You leave that comment below if you what you feel about the government in which the country you live in. I live in the United States here, and as we continue to see day after day how much the current administration and the current blue team has really tried to suppress our voices out there, as well as I just saw this morning, Zuckerberg's going to be contempt of Congress because he doesn't want to say how much influence and blocking and censorship was on Meta or Facebook. So he's under fire, as well as we know the whole regime, the whole crime family is under fire as well. So with that being said, it says Putin signs digital ruble bill into law, priming Russian CBDC for launch. Now, we want to know that in the next, 30 days or so, we're going to see BRICS nations get together, and Russia's one of the BRICS nations, and they're looking at putting together some kind of digital currency backed by gold. This country, Russia and China, have been hoarding gold like crazy. So we're going to see what's happening in the future here, but that's one step. But if Sam Altman had his way, OpenAI's Sam Altman launches World Coin crypto project. Now, his idea behind this was that he was going to give identity. It's like having a driver's license or a digital world driver's license is going to depict you versus anyone else in the world. It was going to give that identity. The issue that we're running into here is that the first thing he says to you is, hey guys, I want to have a retina scan. Well, that isn't very good, because if I use a retina scan for something else, can AI then turn around, take my retina scan and scam me for other things as well, and then use it for devious or illegal things? So Sam's got to back up here. You got to take one step, baby steps forward. I don't think taking this leap will do any good. And of course, it's not even launching in the United States. Why? Because the regulation uncertainty out here, he doesn't want to get popped by the G-man, Gary Gensler, over there at the SEC, which of course he, using 80-year-old rules to apply to digital assets is ridiculous. So that's why he's holding back this innovation. But the question you want to ask yourself, would you actually, to get a free coin, would you have a retina scan? So it would scan you, put it together on your coin, and give you the identity you wanted. Please comment down below. Let's go figure this out. Are you one of those people? Or you just think that this is something that's going to be held against you somewhere in the future, or used against you somewhere in the future? All right, big news over the last few days. Twitter has now officially become X, and X is X.com. That was a very old business that Elon Musk had called X.com. He then got together with a bunch of other buddies, and they end up making PayPal. And with that being said, and I'm going to go ahead and stop this nonsense, he merged that together, and then it all became part of the company. And then later he wanted to roll it off, and so he bought X.com as the vision back in the day was that they wanted to use that as a world currency, or at least a bridge currency, or a bridge financial system, but it just never worked out. And then one of the reasons why is that they had to develop it, and the investors wanted to see it go to market. And because they wanted to see it go to market, they couldn't ever put it together, and they became rich coming out of it, selling it off. But what it did was it never came, X.com was never its own fruition, never came to what actually the vision that Elon Musk had. So in 2017, he bought that X.com back from one of the founders. And today, that's where now he's applied it to Twitter. And this is going to be something crazy in my mind. When you look at Twitter, they're not just going to be this little cutesy tweeting, where I can go and have, put down, funny jokes or have, real takes. It's going to be so much more. Spaces is really taken off. It's actually getting some more views than actually some of those media outlets like CNBC or CNN. And he wants to bring in video, and he wants to bring in video very well. And we know that, here we go again, YouTube at any moment can censor us in 2 seconds. A lot of the people in our industry or in digital assets have gotten their YouTube channel taken down, and for whatever reasons, they were suspended or actually never given back because of so many different reasons. I call it censorship. You can call it whatever you want. That's what Facebook is going through right now as well. All right, so what's happening on Capitol Hill? Well, now after giving about 10 days of soaking up the judgment that Torres, Judge Torres had put together with Ripple that really, really hammered the SEC, now we're seeing more and more congressmen and some senators, but mostly congressmen, coming out and saying, we have to utilize this moment because now we have clarity from a legal point of view, and now we want to apply it to laws, and we want to get these laws starting so that now their committees are starting to pass each one of the possible laws that they want to bring into the House and in the Senate and have the president sign. Now, personally, what do you have at the Senate? You have, a lot of people that are against this, but they realize that it's becoming more a talking point in the elections in 2024. So they've got to really tiptoe around it. So Elizabeth Warren, who had the anti-crypto army out there, her army isn't very big. She thought she was going to get a lot more support. She hasn't gotten the support. And now we're seeing the blue team members break off, Richie Torres, and they're starting to break off one by one, saying, no, we don't support that stance. You know that it just is hurting Elizabeth Warren's stand on crypto, and her good buddy, Gary Gensler, just is getting pounded right now in the courts because they're utilizing that Ripple victory, and they're utilizing the summary judgment in which the judge put out. So very interesting out there. We're seeing that. Now, let's connect Ripple growing, because we know that XRP has really, really started to grow out there in the world. Well, they have a whole NFT side. They have over 1.2 million NFTs that were minted in the first 6 months that XLS 2.0 was developed and passed. And now we're seeing more and more bigger projects on their XRP or on their ledger. Here's Ducati to launch NFTs on XRP ledger this week. We're seeing this happen more and more. It's a viable network. Why? Well, let's go over it. What is Ethereum? Way too expensive, way too slow. Nobody, and that's where all those big blue chips are losing momentum. In fact, have been just getting crushed over there on Ethereum. It's not a good system. It's not a good network, period. Then you look at Solana, who at one point was second best, and they kept going down. They lost 2 major NFT projects, just left them. I think they both went to Hedera. And then we jump over, and a few of them that have been good. Now, Cardano has had some traction, I will say that, and so has Polygon or Matic, but we're seeing a lot of others really starting to take off, such as Hedera or HBAR, Algorand as well, and now XRP Ledger is starting to jump into this realm as well. We know that somewhere in the near future, Casper is going to actually mint on their blockchain about 25 million patent NFTs. Think about that. It's worth billions and billions of dollars. Those patents are from some of the major companies off the S&P 500. They want to utilize the value of the patents for their own stock price and their company's price, which right now, when the analysts do their numbers, they don't actually look at what the patents are really worth. They're just sitting in the background. Now they want to mint them as NFTs, and they want to show those values that are out there. Very interesting, Casper. We're going to go a deep dive somewhere next week about it. But right now, this is Ducati motorcycle company. It's going to be hot. It's going to launch next week, which is really cool. You know, Lamborghini owns Ducati, so I think we're going to see Lamborghini either move over to XRP. I mean, literally think about this. It takes seconds to mint, number one, and then turn around and it's just fractions of pennies, or just one XRP, or less than a percentage of an XRP. Which right now is what, 70 cents, guys. This is the way of the future. The old system, like ETH, and you've been on this channel long enough, you've listened to me, it just isn't working. But it has enough influencers out there that keep pushing it to all the newbies that roll in here. And that's why a lot of the people have negative connotations over crypto. Because when they enter this, the digital asset world, what do you get? You get bombarded by YouTubers and Twitter crypto, and what do? They all push Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when those guys go on this roller coaster up and down, even though they really have very little, if no utility, then they leave. And that's where these guys are pushing them all the time, because it gets clicks, it gets views, it gets new viewers. But when it's all said and done, there's no utility there that's going to keep driving it. And of course, we know that the Ethereum system hasn't really been upgraded. Don't tell me proof of work to proof of stakes upgrade. It didn't change their TPS, transactions per second, still terrible. Actually, the amount of transactions over the network started to go up in price, in the $25 per transaction. What? You wouldn't pay $25 for every transaction you did and you walked in the grocery store. Why would you expect your network to do that on NFT minting or NFT trading? That's ridiculous. And of course, it's slow. And anyone that's been on the Ethereum network know that if you're not getting that confirmation within 10, 20 seconds, what pops up? Well, if you want to be moved up, you need to pay more gas fees. Guys, it's over. It's time to go into a better blockchain. Ducati made that decision. We're going to see more and more and more luxury brands go into this system, go into this network, and they're going to get it cheaper. So, well, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. I definitely appreciate it. There's so much going on a daily basis in crypto. So with that being said, I hope to see you tomorrow. You guys have a good night and take care.